Listen, let's talk about that. Am I straight now once I have the surgery?
Yes, you're a straight woman.
I'm a heterosexual. Oh, I can't be talking to you no more.
Bitch, fuck you.
Ooh, editing some of our stuff, and you're a bitch.
You're a bitch too. It's fine. At least we get along well.
And I'm trying to take you off of my messenger, but I can't. And I don't.
I see them nasty messages coming through.
Stop reading my personal messages.
I don't read them. They just ding on my phone, and I see a little preview. I'm like, ew.
Turn off your preview notifications before somebody sees that.
No.
I can't help it. I'm popular. I'm living my best life.
I'm not mad at you.
Mama's got Stella got her group back. And listen, I can't help it. Like right now, for some reason, it's like 22 to 25-year-olds really like me, and I've never liked younger, ever. But they're like they're mentally more mature. But they're
my whole thing in life is
still
as long
too
as they
young.
can buy me a drink. As long as they can buy me a drink.
That's what I was saying. It's still too young because like they can't even take me to the Apple. I mean, they couldn't afford the Applebee's. So where are we going to go? I have to pay for everything. I'm not a sugar mama.
Not they can't afford the Applebee's, bitch.
So I don't have this one on anything live. So I wanted to see before we do, or just record. And then that's up to you.
No, that's up to you. I'm just the co-host.
And yesterday you called it my show. It is our show.
Okay, our show. But I'm a co-host. You're the one doing all the background work and all the hustle and busting. I'm just here to be funny and talk.
I know. So
I don't know technology. As you can tell, it took us like 9 years to get to this point.
Let me see if I can change it. Okay, so let's add some stuff. So let me tell you about Aaron. So Aaron, well, go ahead and add your Facebook. I'm adding mine. Did you ever fix your Facebook?
No.
So what's the point? So Erin, she's from East Texas. Okay. And she lived down the road from me on Tom Holland Road. And she is she was a very, very conservative young Republican, but she was always pretty chill. And we met through band. She was a year older. And we really didn't become friends until college or after college. But she was a Republican, I was a Democrat, and we were still friends. And so I can just remember we would have like hour-long conversations on the phone, and she was steadfast in her stuff. I was steadfast in mine. And when those really heated up, or got to be a good friendship, not heated up, during the time that I was like president of the Young Democrats there in Angelina County, it's like not that long of a period. But after that, Obama ran, and I can't remember who it was he was running against, but he won, and we had to bet. And the bet was the other person has to buy the person dinner or lunch or dinner. And so when she had to buy me dinner at Cafe Del Rio in Lufkin, Texas, I had this cake. I went in town just for this. I had a cake and I made her like eat it, and it said like Obama won or something. And like she was so angry. But then we kind of lost touch a little bit just because I was living life. And then next thing I know, we always followed each other on Facebook. But next thing I know, she's like living a different lifestyle, and she's moved to I think it's Austin, which you're going to find different culture and everything in Austin. And she's kind of changed her views on a lot of stuff. And I found that very interesting. Now, her and I were always friends, but now I don't know, it's just different. And so I think it's a unique story to tell because I always enjoyed those conversations with her, but she was a very, very staunch Republican. But
nice
for the right things. Socially, she was good. For social things, she was good.
Perfect. I love it.
Okay. Now I do. So she's going to come on later. but I do have follow-up for you.
Okay.
Because I was editing some of our stuff. And so let me turn these on and then I'm going to follow up.
Okay.
Did you see that video last night? Did I look I was drunk.
Yeah, I saw like a clipping of it.
Did I look bad?
It's no. You
I wore that for Jade and y'all didn't even show up.
Well, Jade wasn't gonna show up at all.
I thought you said she might, but so I got in a sequin outfit. Could you call her right now and tell her that I got in sequence? Call her and tell her I got in sequence for her.
Well, she's taking a nap right now because me and her are having dinner tonight before she goes to Dallas.
Will you tell her that I wore sequins for her?
I will.
And I'm not a transvian, so tell her don't worry. I'm not trying to get her. But I wore I was like,
how do I call you? What she called you that you absolutely love?
Gorgina.
And
I need you to remember that
last night. She was like, "Where is Gorgina?"
I've been calling myself that for like all day because I love her.
She kept saying it last night. She's like, "Where is Gorgina?" I was like, "Gorgina is up there in the north. Gorgina's not coming to RMC. Tell her to come to RMC." She was drunk.
I want to go. Why don't y'all come up here though? So we can conquer.
I love to travel.
Yeah, well, and you're already coming. You're going to what makes you go to DCI?
Because I'm the biggest band nerd in the whole entire universe.
Were you in band?
Yes, I was a drum major in band.
I was a drum major.
Yes.
Wait a second. Where?
At Pine Tree.
Oh, so you were like Millicor.
Yeah. Well, no, we were completely military when I was there because Scott Williams was my band director. I graduated in 2006. They went Millicor, I think, in 2007 or 8. I can't remember. This is when they switched to Millicor, and I was like, ew.
Well, I did Millicor, bitch, before you started.
Ew.
I was from Huntington, and so one year, like, we switched every damn year. And so I did full corps, Millicor.
But I love corps, so don't get me wrong. Like, that's why I love DCI.
Yeah, but it's
like
military is where it's at.
It's huge, insane, like, just brass, blow your fucking mind shit up there, and I love it.
I like corps, but to me, military is like it's more boring, but it's
traditional.
But it gets you right.
Yeah.
Like you're like, oh, I'm proud or whatever.
Oh, you should go to DCI because like it's a full production. Guaranteed, it's very corps style, obviously.
Yeah, they don't do military there.
But it is insane, like because it's just brass. I think there's very few woodwinds. They might like add one for like a little special like solo or something. But when I tell you, they literally blow you away. Like it is insane how loud and how in tune they are with each other. Like, of course, we think in high school that we're freaking sickening and everyone's in tune. No, not until you see them. And what like being able to do that and give the production they give is just insanity to me. And I am addicted. I go every year now. I used to go with my husband every year, but obviously that's not happening.
So was he in band? Was he in band?
He was supposedly a drum major, but there was never any verifications there.
There's no yearbooks.
No yearbooks, no verifications. You know, all that got lost.
Wait a second. It all got lost. So you can't even go online and find it?
Exactly. And I was at Brownsboro of all places. He is, oh God, he's like, what, 30 now? 30, 31?
Okay, well, Brownsboro, I get it. So I do actually, like Joseph lost his yearbooks, and I went and I could not find anything online for Huntington for the years that we went to school. And so, or for the high school years that we went to school. So maybe that's the thing. You know that we're East Texas. We didn't have the interwebs.
Hello. This is very true.
Okay.
Our interwebs is band boosters.
I need to put on a cardigan. This is a thought outfit.
Your thought outfit? I know. I saw your ass hanging out earlier.
I didn't know you were watching that. I wouldn't have done it because I need to go and see my pharmacist. Like at the CVS, we got a new one. And it was always this lesbian lady. And she was okay. After I made a corporate complaint on her years ago, she was okay. But then we bonded. But then she finally left. She went back home. She's moved in with her parents. See, I just talk to people. And she moved in with her parents. And so we got this young guy. And he is adorable. He's the pharmacist. And I have a crush on him.
Yes.
So when I say that, people are like, oh, what is that code for? I was like, no, it's not code. I am going to the CVS to flirt with the pharmacist.
Yes. I love it.
I'll go make the order, and I know he won't have it. And so then I'll say, oh, I'll come back Friday, but I won't go back Friday. I'll go back Saturday after it's not been filled. I mean, after it's been put back. And I'll be like, oh, and so I'll get to see him. And then I get to extend it because he's got to do that thing again. I'll come back. So I can make one visit for free. I swear to God, I do it.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Okay, let me see here. I'm doing this. I've got that in there. Stream card. Oh, that's the wrong. I slept so good last night. Did you sleep good and drunk?
Yes, that's not very good.
Do you live alone or who do you live with?
Me and my mom live in our house.
Okay. Are my lashes on? I cannot seem to get lashes down. This one's
fine from my angle. This one's kind of caught in your hair. The one that's in your hair is kind of like being pressed down a little bit. There you go.
My hair is the most annoying thing. Like it gets in your. How do you keep it from getting in your mouth and your
hairspray, girl? Just give it a little spritz, and then like what I do is I'll give it like a spritz, and then I'll hit it with a blow dryer so it just goes back, and it gives you that really pretty like winded like Beyonce moment.
I mean, it's always in my mouth, and it's like you cough up hairballs.
Is that what you were saying last night?
You didn't get to. You don't know because you didn't get to watch. And
I definitely could tell with them sloppy lips that you had last night on your live.
Okay, we're live right now, so thank you.
You're welcome. I mean, you were live with them, so. I mean, our community is gonna do what and say what they're gonna say.
I've got bird people here. So anyway, I was eating these here last night, and he brought me a big Diet Dr. Pepper, and so I felt like I was in my 20s. I didn't get me pork rinds and Diet Dr. Pepper.
Pork rinds and Diet Dr. Pepper. My thing is Diet Coke and the Lay's Funyuns now. You know the wavy Lay's Funyuns.
Mm-hmm. I haven't had. No, I've had those. They've been around for a while.
If I'm going somewhere, I won't eat them. Those are like the kind of like snack you eat like while you're at the house and have no plans to go anywhere. And today was supposed to be like relaxation day or whatever. And I've been like nonstop since 10 o'clock this morning. But it's fine. It is what it is. After I get done eating with Jade, which I'm just going to have like one little sushi roll. Then
Does she stay at your house when she's there?
She lives in Longview. She moved to Longview. She has her apartment. It's like right down the road from here.
Has she always lived in Longview?
She lived in Carthage.
But that's where Nick was a band director.
Where? Carthage?
You know, my ex, who we had home together, like
he was band director in Carthage?
Yeah, let's not talk about that here, though.
Okay.
But
yeah, that's where she lived for like the longest time. She actually lived in like Clayton, that little town outside of Carthage, like going towards Mount Enterprise. But then they moved like into like the downtown area, and then she moved out of her grandma's house and moved to her own apartment here because she was driving here from Carthage like every day.
I wonder if I bet she knows him. Was she in band?
She was in cheer.
It was a lifetime ago. And that is so cool. I lived on Lake Gary.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's where she lived. She used to walk out to the lake from her back porch.
So did I. I wonder, what the hell? I love the more I know about her, I love her. Now she wouldn't recognize me back then.
That's true.
That's true.
Like wow. Olivia. Olivia was yeah, you remember me.
I wonder if I ever but she's younger. She's
who, Jade?
Yeah.
She's a year younger than me. So she would have graduated 07 or 08?
Yeah, me too.
Kind of creepy.
No, I'm saying I didn't graduate then. I was lying.
You was already in college.
or okay, I just sent her that link. Okay, so I do have follow-up because I was listening to your rants because there were just so many of them.
Girl. I got to answer it yesterday.
And
I want to be a better Christian woman today.
I was listening to your rants, and there was, and you do need to be a better Christian woman.
I do,
because
I need to take after you.
You were talking about. Okay. I know what you're saying. No, but when you were talking about like the RuPaul girls making this money, I mean, the people that own those bars, they're business people. They wouldn't be in business without, knowing, like, so they must be benefiting the bars, or everybody wouldn't do it, right? So they are bringing in extra sales when they have them. So, or maybe we just need competition for the RuPaul show. Is that like, or it needs to be?
I don't really know. I just know that like local girls should be respected more. Like I said, luckily, like our local girls here now, like our owner at RMC, he respects us 100%, and we get paid a very fair wage. I'm not going to say exactly what we get paid, but we get paid like extremely well for what we do now. Like
I'm going to start dancing.
Comparative to like what S4 pays, very well.
Is S4 still a thing?
Yeah. I mean, it's not a thing like it used to be. So can I show you my new adventure too?
Yeah, hang on. I was just pulling down my skirt.
I don't know how to share stuff on here, so I'm not going to do all that. I'm just going to kind of like put the phone up like this and just going to watch it. I don't even know how it works.
You would have to have it on your computer to share it, but I can't see that because your screensaver.
No, that's rude.
What is that? I really can't see it because of your screensaver.
I know. I'm trying to like, oh, whatever. Well, here's like, you'll hear the music.
Roseanne?
No.
Is that not? No, that's not Roseanne.
Oh, I'm trying to make it so you can see it. There you go.
Designing Women?
Yep.
What does that say?
Designing Queens, Gemini as Suzanne. I'm so excited.
Wait, is that a show?
Yes, we're going to do, it's a big show, like this big thing that they're doing in Dallas, and I made the part of Suzanne. I'm so excited. Yeah.
On Google Meets, when something happens, I can hit this button and it like cheers for you. But
yes.
What is so is there any like promotion? Can I like, do they have something? Is that your official picture?
That's gonna be my official picture, but that's not like, we don't have the official like trailer and stuff out. They're getting the trailer out. It should be out sometime by the end of next week. So by the time I get back from my cruise, I'll have like the official like trailer where it's like the Designing Women and who is who and all that. And I'm so excited. Girl, it's every Saturday and Sunday in Dallas from July until October. And they pay very well per set. I'm so excited. And it's like a Broadway kind of set.
So you're gonna neglect our new show?
No, girl, I can go by.
I'm actually good because can you get us like 2 or 3 people to listen?
Girl, I'll be out there promoting. What are you talking about? I'm gonna make us some little business cards with a little QR code to scan, download, and as soon as I scan it, it'll download.
We've got to get some media. I got to get a better handle on the website. AllisonCrawford.com is not up yet. Okay.
So we need to do.
But people that I talk to think that this is the show, and it's not. So they all see like, oh well, nobody watch. Like this is just to get content, and so yeah, because they were like they're like, yeah, nobody's watching your show, and I said nobody really is, but it's 2 more than you think.
Exactly.
Okay, so but the RuPaul. Okay. What do you do to hold? So is that the RuPaul's fault that the local people aren't treating their girls right?
I don't think it's RuPaul's fault, and I don't think that was RuPaul's like game changer there, like intention. But
so then why do you hate her?
Because she has that platform, and she should be telling people to support local drag, and she doesn't.
That makes sense, because at the end of when you were talking about the trans issue with the drag, you said, and I quote, she should have used her platform to help with this issue.
Exactly. It's like you're giving this great platform. You know what's going on in our country today. Like, use your platform for good too. But she's just playing that political game to stay in Hollywood as long as she can. And that's what aggravates me. And I have a whole set for us to do. Like, I'm ready. We might have to do it like, I don't know when, but soon. Because I'm like in on this whole Hollywood conspiracy with the P. Diddy thing. I'm all about it. And there's so many conspiracies.
Is J-Lo, so tell me, is that how J-Lo got big?
Oh, that's how everyone's gotten big. You just have no clue. Like, I've been watching all these conspiracies. It's insane. I'll just shoot you some videos so you can kind of wrap yourself around some of it too. So whenever we're like talking about it, you can kind of have an idea of what I'm talking about. But it's insane. Like, if you think like what, so like these celebrities, when they talk about pizza parties and they talk about it in front of our faces, like, Taylor Swift with on the Tonight Show was talking about, oh yeah, when I went to your pizza party.
What's
Like,
it?
you don't really realize, okay, you don't realize that that's like a sus thing, but it's actually a very sus thing because I don't
Wait,
know.
what
We'll
does
talk
sus
about it,
mean?
huh? A pizza party, so it's
No, what does
very
sus mean?
suspicious.
Suspect, suspicious.
Yeah, suspect,
Okay.
suspicious. So it's a horrible thing, is what a pizza party is. But it's like believed like by a lot of people, and there's a lot of proof on there about it that these pizza parties is what like the whole P Diddy thing was, like where they had kids and trafficking. A lot more people are involved than what we understand and know. But of course, we've always known that. Like, everyone knows that in politics and in Hollywood, there's a completely different kind of game that we don't understand. Why did you go away?
Because I needed to go to the next room, but I can hear you, and I just didn't want you to see my butt.
You didn't want them to see your butt. So yeah, there's a whole lot of conspiracies going on now, and like especially, of course, everyone's not new to the whole conspiracy of like the Illuminati situation, like the devil worshiping that goes on in Hollywood. So a lot of the videos prove a lot. So a lot of the actors have, of course, the Devil's Triangle, and a lot of like the famous like singers and stuff in their concerts, they'll either like flash the triangle like this in your face, like at some point, or they'll like do this. Like, so if you notice Taylor Swift, when she points, she never points like this. She always points like this, which is like the devil's horns kind of thing, not the longhorn thing.
I saw something about that.
But a lot
Ice
of,
Spice
if
did
you
that
look
at the
at
Super
it, a
Bowl.
lot of them do it. Like a
Ice
lot
Spice did
of,
that at the Super Bowl.
it's insanity. Like, if you actually sit there and like watch these videos where they put these clips together, it just blows your mind because you know that there's something there that we're not supposed to know, even though everyone knows that there is like all this back stuff going on in Hollywood. Obviously, it's coming out to the forefront more, but anyone that's ever talked about it openly has been basically offed, or like they've like gone crazy, or they've been ruined. Like P Diddy, he started becoming very open about a lot of like different things, and because he did that, you see where he's at now. Like, he got thrown up under the bus because he never would have got caught, but the FBI and all them are in on it. Like, it's a whole big ordeal. Like, I know I sound like a crazy person, so it'll be a big conversation. Yeah, I'll send you some videos to watch so you can like get on my level, so we can like talk about it like knowingly.
And to get on your
This will be
level.
a very good podcast episode.
Or it says too hot. But what if that's just a way that people, your hand commonly goes, how many ways are there to wave? And so
It's
like,
not really waving, it's pointing. And then like some of them will do like this, like in some of their dances, and that's like the devil's triangle. Well, if you look above Taylor's concert, at how all of her fans get like the glow up bracelets, the like glow and stuff. So like they'll have those glow bracelets, and like it shows the triangle. Like, if you're looking above her, it's insane. Like, you just gotta watch these conspiracy videos, bitch. It's crazy. Hi, sorry. How are you?
hello. Okay, so let me make an introduction. This is my dog. I'm Titan, who's now stealing the shot, which is rude. But this is Aaron. Aaron, so we go on live just to get content, and then we edit it. But I was just telling him all about you and how great you are. But I think that you should do your introduction.
Okay. It's occurred to me that I usually use this computer for Teams meetings for school, and it naturally like fuzzies the background, and I'm trying to figure out how to do that. But anyway, I'm Erin, lesbian, recovering conservative, and Allison and I went to school in the smallest town ever.
Yes, we survived the Red Devil.
Yes.
What's the Red Devil? What school is that?
See, you don't even, this is your own show. We put out something 2 days ago. It's Huntington.
Well,
I think we almost got nicknamed the honeybees one time during like a random religious uprising against being the Red Devils.
Okay, so the before we get started, you can add your Facebook or anything you want to stream to here if you signed up for StreamYard. There's like a quick, easy way to do that. This thing is in my hair. But I was telling them that you and I became friends, like, especially when I was like running the Young Democrats. But we always lived down the road from each other, right?
We did. I was actually friends with your brother before you.
Oh, you were friends with Casey?
Yep.
Do y'all talk anymore?
No, we don't.
Sorry, I had to walk backwards. I didn't want y'all to see my butt. I'm wearing a short skirt. Okay. Okay.
No, we don't talk anymore. I think we stayed in touch for a little while after high school. We're just two wildly different people right now, and probably don't want to. It's a little bit uncomfortable. Like we may or may not have fooled around a little bit in high school.
Girl, this is live.
Oops.
Nobody's watching, so it's okay. And nobody watches these live. But I did tell you several times.
You
want me to?
I'm gonna just watch my mouth now.
But well, that was generations and generations ago, right?
Right. Yes.
For y'all, but because I haven't aged, and I'm still young. But I was telling him that I always really enjoyed you as a friend. And I enjoyed the fact that we saw things differently, that we had like very long phone conversations. And like that last time I think I saw you was when you had to pay me back for the bet of Obama. Who was he running against? Was that Romney?
I think it was.
Okay. Yeah. And I was such a little brat, and I made you eat a cake, and like it was whatever. But since then, you've changed so much. And so, like, what was that journey like? Because you were always socially cool on social issues, but because like you were just such a Republican.
I was, and I that mainly had to do with the fact that I think from the inception of Fox News on, so I would have been about 11 or 12, I guess. That and like the Western Channel were the only channels that were ever on in my house. So I kind of only ever heard one side of any story. There were a couple of kids in our high school that were gay and open about it. There were a couple more that had rumors, but it wasn't something that was talked about outside of rumors or outside of derogatory comments. I was so deep in the closet and just kind of like, I don't know. I guess I never envisioned that I would ever leave that town or leave the greater, Lufkin area. And so I would always have to reckon with those people. And I really needed to be on their side. I didn't like that was not my rationale. I think that was just some kind of like subconscious masking like we do. And then eventually
I think I remember you telling me you were bi or something. And then
yeah.
As far as the coming out, I never asked you about it in high school because we didn't talk much when we were in high school. But would you have been scared in high school for anybody to ever know?
Yeah. As a kid, I was.
Did you see that other people get treated differently because of that?
Yes. Yeah.
Who?
Yeah. There was a kid in when I was in the athletic program because I didn't want to do PE. And I played softball. So technically they had to let me in. There was a kid and like the other girls, like one of the first things they said, in the changing room, hey, don't change around her. She's gay. And this kid wasn't even one of the gay ones. She was just a little bit weird. But like that was where they went. That was like the first place they went. If you really wanted to create a bad impression about somebody to somebody that didn't know them, go ahead and tell, and it was a thing. She was ostracized. And I think that this poor girl is straight as hell.
I remember, like, I don't know if you heard that, the Red Devil thing that we put out with Joseph, but I remember because him, like he was just gayer than me, and it wasn't much. They just it deflected. It got me off of it, out of the beating, because he just took it mentally, physically, and I would have been terrified to have come out back then.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I would have
I got out of there. I did. It was like turning on a strobe light. Did you ever think that anybody would ever be trans from our school?
No, that was one that didn't occur to me.
Did we even fathom what that was, though? I mean, did we even comprehend that those things were things?
No, I don't think I did at the time. Like, I think that, like, even when I watched, like, Tu Wong Fu, I think I processed that as drag queens, whereas now I would process that as women.
Is that what they are, Gemini? So, because Jim and I were talking about that yesterday, and he was like, he likes that movie, but he gets irritated because that's not what drag queens are. They take it off. So, should we be seeing that as a trans movie?
I don't know. It's been so long since I've seen it. But that and like the Birdcage, I think there's a moment in the Birdcage when you start thinking of Nathan Lane as, Mrs. Goldman.
Yeah.
And the character's a drag queen, not a woman. And I think at the time it was just such a gray area. And I think to a lot of people it still probably is a gray area.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Well, they think that they don't take it off. They think that the drag queens are, they just wear that all day.
Yeah, that was my thing with the perception of Tu Wong Fu, is like the perception was that drag queens were just living life as women, and that's not the case. It's like drag queens, we go out on stage and we might go out on pride events, stuff like that, but that's as much outside time any drag queen wants. We don't want to be outside in that kind of makeup in the day, and like, girl, we look crazy. That's why they looked crazy. Look at Wesley Snipes, a very ugly woman, hilarious but terrible and ugly woman.
I'm gonna have to watch that movie again. I just remember like Stockard Channing talking to Patrick Swayze about like her acceptance of Patrick Swayze's identity. And so I guess in that way it seemed more like an identity thing to me, but I really need to go back and watch the movie again. It's been
I think you might be right. And I think I need to go watch it too, because I think now if you go into it with the mindset that this isn't drag queens that they've gotten wrong, maybe it's trans, that they had to name that just to get a movie done.
Absolutely.
I can't remember anymore.
Yeah, is that possible for you, Gemini, to put a positive spin on something, or do you just want to go back and bitch about it?
Really? I bitch about everything. That's just me. But no, I think it's a positive. Like, I think the movie was positive because I think it was especially in that time, like it was unheard of for that kind of movie to be out. Same thing with the Birdcage. Like when they came out, it was just because it was so unacceptable for drag queens to be on mainstream anything. So it's like I respect it. I think they're both great movies. I don't think they're like horrid movies. I just think they're now a misrepresentation of gender identity at this point.
I agree. I really want to see that movie now, though, and I got to go find it.
I think look. We should all get off and watch it because that's what I'm gonna do after I eat dinner with Jade.
Is Jay gonna watch it too? Can we have a watching party?
Yes, let's have a watching. We'll have a podcast watching party.
So, Aaron, did you ever? So what? Okay, so what made it okay for you to like publicly be out and like is it to your family, to everybody? Like there are no more secrets, I'm guessing, because you're on live.
Right. Yeah, it's to everybody now. And I was well, for one thing, my dad died.
I'm sorry.
Oh, don't be. And I came out to like a couple of people I really trusted at first because I was I held on to the bi thing for a long time. Not that that's invalid and not that that doesn't exist, but that wasn't me. I was one of the ones who really genuinely got it wrong. Which is,
did you get it wrong, or did you know? Did you get it wrong, or did you know that whole time you weren't bi and you knew you were just saying that?
No, I got it wrong. I was going to make it work. I gave it the old college try, for more of my life than I really should have. And it was not I don't know. I just thought sex was bad for a long time. But I knew I was attracted to women, but like, who was I going to get with in Lufkin? You know, we had like the alibi club for like 15 minutes one year. And it was not a singles bar.
That's like put fish in a barrel. Like I
Yeah.
always was there.
Wild Willies.
Wild Willie's on Wednesday nights was gay night.
Yes. And then they canceled us. They're like, no, we're done.
So did you meet somebody? What made you finally take that step? So it was your dad completely, or was it a person? Like
so when he died, I was a little bit freer to be myself. And then I did what the lesbians will do, and I fell in love with just like a string of really close friends.
Got your hair cut really short, spiked it up.
Yeah. And then it was just, I don't know, it was just kind of like an aha moment. I was like, this is not how I feel, and it doesn't have to be the way I feel. I don't have to make this work. And anyway, and then I got on a dating app, and I met a girl who lived in Houston, and we dated for, I don't know, a little over 2 years. And I was like, oh no, it was awesome. She smelled great. She felt great. The sex was amazing. It was everything that I had been looking for and trying to make work with a dude, so I didn't have to tell anybody about myself, especially my mom, who took it really well. Really well. She was like, yeah, I kind of already knew, but I just, I didn't want to have that conversation to begin with, because that's an altering the rest of your life conversation, even if they do take it well.
Very true.
Okay.
So, but then I moved to Houston.
Who was the first family member you told?
Family member?
The closest to the orbit that you did not want to know. Who was the closest to that orbit? Like an aunt, an uncle?
My sister.
Okay. How did she take it?
She took it really well. She was amazingly supportive. And she's
Did
like,
she already know?
She didn't already know as much as my mom already knew. Like she had because I walk a certain way and always have, and dress a certain way, and just had a certain way of never really caring about looking feminine. But no, she took it really well, and she like goes out of her way to be a damn near obnoxious ally, and I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. She's like that mother on Queer as Folk. It's like wearing all the buttons.
Yes.
I did not. And so we lived on the same street, and I had, my parents were always cool, but now with this, it turns out they were still cool, but it was separate, but equal. It was like, I'm not going to go be in a room with my brother and not get the same treatment as my brother. Right. I don't just have to say thank you. And it sounds like maybe hopefully that's what your dad would have at least done. Hopefully he would have still loved you and embraced you. And
it would have been that sort of really toxic evangelical Christian love and embrace. So no, I mean,
have you left the church completely?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm agnostic, and we were never churchgoers anyway, but he was very on the same page. If he would have lived long enough to vote for Trump, he would have voted for Trump.
He would have been like his campaign chairman for Angelina County.
Probably.
But what about leaving the whole Republican Party? Because I always thought you were, and I always thought for social issues, you were great, that you were, because you had me as a friend. I just thought, okay, well, it's just money. So what made you leave the party?
So when I moved to Houston, I now live I live in Sugar Land really, but it's a really diverse area, and I work in education. So I kind of got to meet all of these people that I had been hearing so much bad stuff about and saying so much bad stuff about, because that was all the input that I got from them, about them. But then when I met them and, got to know these kids that come from rough backgrounds, and mom's not there because she works 3 jobs. And then, I had started the liberal turn like somewhere around 2016 because I saw the writing on the wall there, but I wasn't really outgoing about it. But then when COVID hit, and it was my students who didn't always know where their next meal was coming from, and mom's hours are cut back, we're all supposed to hunker down, and the schools started saying, hey, we're still going to give out hot breakfast and hot lunch. And I want to say it was on the KTRE Facebook page, and the conservatives were just not having that. Like, they want them to be born, but they don't want them to eat. And then I had to kind of take a closer look at everything else that they were saying as well. And just, finally realized it's not about freedom. It's not about any kind of a libertarianism or choice. And it's not about the common good or anything. It's about, I got mine and fuck you. And realize that
That's what I've never understood, though, because the people, the core base of the whole party, and there's so many good people in that party, right? But there's assholes on both sides. And the core base, though, are people that would need those free meals. Like, that you can't have it both ways. You can't say the Democrats are all elitist and whatever, but then not want to give to the poor. But then who's the poor people? It would be the people voting for the Republicans, but it's not. There's poor people everywhere in this country. And why I just don't get it. And it's usually those people at that base that need that free food that is telling other people they shouldn't have it too. And that's what to me is the paradox of this country, is that like, you don't throw stones in glass houses, and we all fucking live in glass houses.
Absolutely.
And I don't know, mainly it's memes, but the things that like work their way around social media periodically, if you're over 55, you shouldn't have to pay school taxes. Oh, but they want their Medicare funded. But they don't actually care if the next generation gets Medicare at all.
Right.
True story.
Listen, you would love Gemini, because you should hear some of her opinions on people. So I want to ask Erin, and Erin, I hope you do this with us more, because we're going to have like a person on each show, but I want to ask your opinion about some people. RuPaul, just quick, like her, don't like her. What do you think? Don't care?
Not enough information.
Oprah Winfrey.
I mean, not that your question didn't have enough information. I don't. I mean, like, I would recognize her if I saw her, but that is literally all I know about her.
So you don't watch RuPaul's Drag Race?
I'm afraid I don't.
Do you have any trans friends?
Other than you? I don't.
Not the token with.
Well, no, I mean, so I consider you a friend. I know trans people in passing, and we're friendly, but like, I don't have their phone number. I don't go hang out with them. I don't do much anymore since I became a teacher. I sit on this couch, the one I was trying to get fuzzy earlier, and I don't really watch very much TV at all. I kind of just sit on my phone, and the TV is in the background. Okay,
so I'm just gonna spitfire it. Tell me, like them, don't like them, don't care. So you've already said RuPaul.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oprah Winfrey.
Like her.
Like her? Interesting. Do you know any controversies about her?
No.
Okay.
No, this is based on watching the TV show After School in the 90s.
Thank you. Well, in Texas, we didn't like her for a little bit because they said she was going to ruin the meat industry. Remember that? We tried to sue her. She had to do her show from El Paso.
I do not remember that at all.
She did it was Oprah from El Paso because she was getting sued. Texans lost, of course. Oprah won the PR and the court. Okay. Gemini, who else don't we like? He was just telling me all these people he doesn't like yesterday. Erin, what is your favorite movie of all time?
Jesus. Star Wars Episode 4.
Yes.
Oh my God. I don't even know what that's about.
Ew. And you watch RuPaul?
Have you seen Glitter?
I'm no, I have not.
So are you a registered Democrat then?
No, I'm not registered because I like to vote in the Republican primaries.
And in Texas, yes. Once you're in, you're just going to get to do it. Okay, and what is your strategy for that? Are you trying to get them a candidate that's worthy of being in office or representing you, or are you trying to derail the process?
No, I'm trying to get like the weakest candidate, the one most likely to lose to a Democrat. So like I voted for Nikki Haley. And it was a losing battle for the presidential primaries. But still, I kind of liked it when the news came on and they were like 18% of registered Republicans voted for Nikki Haley, because that's embarrassing.
Well, what's embarrassing is he couldn't afford his, I think around that same time as that, he didn't have as much wealth as he says because he couldn't afford his bond, remember?
Yes.
Like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't afford 1.0001% of his bond. But okay. If you had to tell the world something, if you had to talk to little Erin and she was watching, what would you want little Erin to know if they had allowed her to have the interwebs in the house?
I think I would be like, honey, there's a reason Dr. Crusher is your favorite character on Star Trek The Next Generation, and you're not really interested in the plot.
Who?
I'm sorry.
Googling it.
Oh, I didn't hear you. What?
I'm going to have to Google that. I don't know what that means. Was she a pretty girl or something?
Oh, she was just like a breathtaking redhead in a really tight spandex suit.
She was.
Do redheads like redheads? I noticed that they get with redheads a lot. Is that a thing? Are you with a redhead?
I mean, I've never been as fortunate to snag another redhead, but I do. Yeah, no, I do like redheads.
Does that make a soul? I mean, because if you're a soul, like if you.
Well, I think double teaming makes it easier to steal other souls.
Okay, so you're more success. Okay, because you can split the workload too. It's a better quality of life because you're just not always out trying to snatch people's souls. Okay. In East Texas, there are a lot of redheads. Like that is a thing.
That is a huge thing. Not even natural sometimes.
But you can tell because I've never seen a redhead that's naturally tan.
No, that's true.
Yeah, and I'm a very light-skinned person too. I'm basically a redhead, but just blonde hair. Except this is a little bit fake blonde.
A little bit.
Erin, we have never talked with me as Allison. Questions, comments, anything I'm doing? Say you're doing this one wrong.
No, not at all. I think you're gorgeous. And I'm really happy that we live in a world where, I'm like low-key curious about some things, but like I'm also aware that they're not really my business unless you make them my business. And I don't want to. Sometimes there's an etiquette that my ADHD brain doesn't necessarily pick up with other people because I speak before I think sometimes. And I can mask that and be super careful with it for like short bursts of time. But
we've always been very honest. So you can always ask me everything. If it's something you don't think I would want to hear, don't ask it on here. But for the most part, I'm pretty honest about everything. I would rather not answer body questions.
Yeah, no.
What you got?
Okay, so for tax, I'll go first. I realized I was attracted to women when I was 13, maybe beginning of the 14th year. When did you realize that that your identity didn't match your assignment at birth?
I think so. This is an odd question because I can't tell you I realized, but then thinking back in retrospect, I always knew. And so like I knew God forever. I just never put that in my head that was a possibility, that was a thing. I just thought, like it just wasn't a thought. But I remember always trying to hide. I never want anybody to see me for me. And so I would always pretend I had a screensaver going. Like I'd walk into Walmart and my screensaver would come on and it would say myself. And it was just this weirdest thing. And because I would imagine the screensaver blocking me out from everybody else. And when I think back on that, why did I need that? I needed that because My brain was trying to protect me in that environment. I was already I was feminine. I was already, I had a high pitched voice. I like to do things that the girls like to do. I remember pretending I was a girl a lot at home. I just never put that together. I didn't admit it to myself really until I left East Texas and when I was living in New Mexico. And I started doing it secretly in Colorado, and then I came here and told my company. But back then, I wouldn't have ever thought.
Right.
I just don't think we couldn't comprehend that. I still think today, Huntington people can't comprehend some of those things.
No, I agree, and that's why I feel strongly about education, reflecting the real world.
Eyelashes coming off. So, what would you have done differently for Huntington? That's this one.
Oh, I think I would be tarred and feathered in Huntington even to this day. But wow. Like you say, hindsight being, oh no, I mean, if I tried to talk to because I'm a teacher, if I tried to talk to my kids about, gay people exist, trans people exist, I think that's still processed in Huntington as I'm recruiting, even though that's not possible. Anyway, but I live in a obviously very blue area of Texas, and I'm open at work. There's I work with a lot of gay people.
Are you in Houston or Austin?
I'm in Houston.
Okay. I told him you were Austin earlier.
Oh.
Any other questions?
No, I think that
was it.
I mean, I know you.
That wasn't offensive.
You're still the same person.
So that's the thing. I don't have a dead name. I don't have that because Chad and me, same person. That is me. It just had a different name and he wore different clothes and he called himself a he. So I've always, and I think maybe that benefited me because I don't have a hate relationship with that at all. I even made my last name my first name.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I remember about you in high school. You used to do a really good Fiona Apple impression.
Which one was Fiona Apple?
Criminal. I'm not gonna sing it. You used to.
Hang on. I could do Fiona. I think I could do that one. I remember doing Tina Turner a lot. I remember doing I had a lot. Oh, I could do a good Tina Turner. I can do a good Cher. Yeah. So there's this thing that we're going to do at the end of every episode or just like when we're chatting, and it's called irritated or inspired. And so it's whatever is whatever's top of mind for you this week. So are you irritated about something or inspired, like a feel good moment? It can be a new TV show. It can be what the F ever. And it could be anything. It changes daily. So would you say you're irritated, inspired, and about what?
So I hope we get to do this again because I'm not always irritated, but this week I've been super irritated. We're coming up on the end of the school calendar, and I can either teach my class or I can do the paperwork. I cannot do both. And
do you have assistants?
Oh yeah. And I teach in special ed, so I got an opportunity that a lot of teachers don't. And I can go sit behind my desk for a couple of hours every day and they'll do centers and they'll run the show. And then I can try to catch up with paperwork. But I mean, I got scheduled for 6 ARDs over 2 weeks, which is, we don't need to go into it. It's a long multi-step process, and then on top of that I've got kids with evaluations coming up, which is not my job, but they're being evaluated by 3 different departments in the district, and all of them have a 70-page questionnaire that they need filled out now, if you please.
Gosh.
And it all hits at the same time.
So I was basically married to an educator, basically, and so I understand the time frame, and I thank you for getting on here. I did just have one random thing, and I wanted I wanted Jim and I to be able to hear this part. I bonded with you, and I bonded with other people that were just like you, and you see that a lot. Do you think that we bonded and not knowing just because you had a more masculine energy than me, and I had a more feminine, and that was a good fit for a friendship? Because I did that with Heather Heather Kidd. I've done that with many people, and you see that a lot. You see like a lesbian and a gay person. So I wonder if that was a thing.
I think somehow we managed to find each other. And in the beginning, it has nothing to do with gaydar or anything like that. We don't recognize it, but somehow we all do manage to find each other. Like just an astounding percentage of my best friends from school ended up being not straight or not cis.
So weird.
And yeah, and now personality wise, you and I were a good fit for each other. I always felt that. And I've met and even unfortunately dated some people with really lousy personalities. So it takes all kinds, but yeah, we do find each other. Like, I mean, I'm not going to name names, but you know, I mean, you can look back at our friend group and then a wider friend group, and I don't know how a bunch of kids who don't know they're gay or don't know that they're not cis managed to find each other at such a young age and bond, but we did. And it seems to be a pretty common experience.
I don't even know how we made friends back in the day before we had the internet. And so I just like, how did we even travel? I don't know how we got around. Gemini, inspired or irritated?
I'd have to say inspired this week. I mean, with switching jobs and stuff like that, it's been I know. With switching jobs and stuff, it's been very like inspirational, like going back to a company and like being in the unknown, but knowing like how diverse they are and like they're growing and knowing that they want me to grow within them. Like that's been very inspirational to me versus the company I was working for. Did I have a great job? Yes, I was the VP of a company. However, like I was not happy there. Like, and there was no going forward. I was just going to be where I was going to be forever. They were divesting a bunch of facilities. So it was like, you know, the end was going to draw near. But then the HMG just kind of reached out like at the right time. And it's just, they've always like wanted me to come back, and like knowing that I have an employer that respects me that much, like, and lets me be who I am. Like, that's a great thing. So
can I point out something you might have forgotten and you might not have, but it was a year ago in May that you did the virtual Pride Parade. And after that, you told me that you wanted to find a company that supported you. And
very much so.
It's almost a year later. You have found that, you manifested that. And sometimes you have to leave it wasn't that before. Y'all needed to separate, and now it is that. And I'm so proud and happy for you.
Thank you. I'm excited. Very excited for this new adventure. And I'm excited that I get to go on my cruise. And
I am irritated. So y'all's is all serious. And so mine today is I'm irritated about flyaways. I cannot stand flyaway hair. It goes in my mouth. I cough up like a hairball. Like, why? And this is beautiful angel hair. And so I can't see it. So it's just like in my mouth. And I'm irritated about flyaways.
I don't mind hair in my mouth.
What? What did you say?
I said I don't mind hair in my mouth.
You can have my pug. I hope you do this again. And I will edit everything, of course, and make y'all. I will give it to y'all for approval first, and I'll make the graphics because we can't afford a company to do it.
We'll get there one day.
Jim and I have a great vacation. Aaron, you can be the co-host while he's on vacation.
That sounds fun.
She's got work to do.
Oh, sorry.
You're good.
All right.
Bye, y'all.
Thanks.